When you draw a number line, we always draw the number line so that numbers get larger as we go to the right. So you can see 0 is here, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Negative numbers would go off to the left, -1, -2, -3, and so on. So that when we say something is greater than another number, the easiest way to think of that is that it lies to the right of something else on the number line. So, for instance, if we're talking about, I don't know, 4 and 2, well, 4 is greater than 2, because 4 lies to the right of 2 on the number line. Similarly, less than means that it lies to the left. 0 is less than 4. It lies to the left of 4 on the number line. This also works when we're talking about negative numbers, though. This is why it's nice to have the whole left and right thing sorted out already. So if I wanted to compare -4 and -2, you can see -4 is to the left of -2, therefore it's less than -2. 9 is to the right of 6, so 9 is greater than 6. -15 is to the left of 22, and 0 is to the right of -5. One way to look at these is, imagine Pac-Man. When Pac-Man is going around his little world, he doesn't want to go for negative. He wants to get the highest score possible. And as part of getting a high score, well, if you think of negative numbers as a point penalty, he would rather take the 2-point penalty rather than the 4-point penalty. So Pac-Man would rather eat the -2 than the -4. Similarly, Pac-Man would rather eat the 9 than the 6, or he'd rather get the 22 than the -15. He'd rather gain 22 points than lose 15. And he'd rather stay still rather than lose 5 points. So this whole Pac-Man analogy works flawlessly for these signs. As far as remembering less than and greater than, those symbols, I don't know of any good, easy way to remind you of that, but at least this tells you which way the symbols go. Alright, so if we want to mark the following numbers on this number line. If we want to mark -3.5, well, let's start off by thinking about where +3.5 is. Well, +3.5, it would be between 3 and 4, right? It would be 3.5 right here. Well, -3.5 is the same thing, but it's over here. It's going to be between -3 and -4. -3.5 would be over here. It's actually more negative. It's farther from 0 than -3. Don't feel like, a lot of times when people do this, they come over to -3 and then they come a half the way over. But when you say -3.5, not only is this negative affecting the 3, it's also affecting the half. Mixed numbers are kind of a weird bunch, but that's how it works. The same kind of thing works with -2.2. You would go over to -2, but you need to go a little bit farther to get to your -2.2. It's a little bit farther, a little bit more negative than just -2. 1.75 is going to be, well, let's see, 1 is there, 1.5 is there, 1.75, or 1.75 is definitely between the 1 and the 2, closer to the 2. -0.6 is not yet to -1, just slightly over halfway. -0.6 would be approximately right there.